Welcome to Intend, Align, Manifest with Donnie.
Hi, guys. I am Donnie Nicole, and I am here today to share a sneak peek into my journal ecosystem. So, a few months ago, these videos were all the rage where people basically walk you through their notebooks, journals, etc., art journals that they use day to day. And I thought it was awesome. I can't tell you how many of those videos I watched and decided that today is the day, as someone who's been journaling for at least 20 years, today is the day that I want to show you my current journal ecosystem. I use a lot of notebooks and a lot of journals. And as someone who has had to navigate a lot of trauma in my life, I can't tell you enough about how helpful journaling has been throughout all of what I've had to deal with and encounter most of my life, which I'll share a little bit more about that in a little while. So, with no further ado, let's get into it. So, the first journal notebook that I'm going to share with you is actually my daily planner. I picked this up for maybe $10 at Home Goods, and I started it in July of last year. It's an 18-month journal. So, I'm sorry, an 18-month planner. So it will take me through December of this year. And one thing about me, if it's not working, I don't care what it is, planner, relationship, whatever, I am no stranger to being like, this isn't working, I'm done. And I've done that to so many planners that I spent an awful amount of money on, in some cases, like hundreds of dollars on planners that when they weren't working, I just abandoned them. But this $10 planner from Home Goods has been super helpful, and we are together and will be together until the end of this year. I use it to track my bills and payment due dates. I use it to track important dates, especially on a personal side. For my job, we use Outlook. So, my Outlook digital calendar is what I use to manage my schedule. But then I use this to track, my birthdays, other important observances. I use it to track my notes as well when I need to remember something, especially if it's tied to a specific date. I use it to track both my daughter and my own health. So when my baby girl has a fever, I write that in there. My cycle, everything that's important goes in this planner, and I will be using it. I'm committed to this until the end of the year. So that's my first journal slash notebook that I wanted to share with you. Next, I actually just purchased this um, within the last week. This is my work notebook. So I use it to take notes when I'm in meetings, to track my to do list of items that I need to get done. It's so beautiful. There's some texture to it. It also has a little bling. I just love it. And I picked this up, as I said, at Barnes and Noble. That's one of my favorite places to shop for notebooks and journals because they have such a wide selection. And I also, for my work notebooks, really it's really important to me that they have a hard back because I am often on the move and need to be able to take notes and capture things pretty quickly. So this is my work notebook. It goes back and forth with me to the office every day. Next is my traveler's notebook, which I bought the acrylic cover from Cloth and Paper, a company that I absolutely love, stationery company. And inside are three different notebooks that I use to track my scrapbooking projects as well as my home decor. I recently actually won a record player from Crossley. So I have a list of vinyl that I would like to own and acquire. It's kind of like my wish list that goes in here. This little notebook goes everywhere with me. I love it. And I create my own custom covers using scrapbook paper and stickers. So this is the one I recently made for spring, and I love it. This is probably the most portable and the smallest notebook that I own. And then next is a journal that I started 2 months before I had my daughter Amelia. In this journal, it's a soft kind of leather cover, and um, I started this February 15th, 2021, and I'm going to read the introduction on the first page that I wrote. It says, "This journal is especially for my firstborn, my daughter Amelia Rena Draper. It is my hope that by reading this, you know a little bit more about yourself, your parents, and the environment and energy you are slash were raised in. You truly are the best gift, my greatest manifestation. And as I feel you moving around in my womb, I want you to know how much you are wanted and loved. We are about 10 weeks away from meeting you, and we can't wait. Love your mommy, Donnie Nicole Belcher." So I write in this pretty regularly, at least once or twice a month. And then anytime there are major events, her birthdays, New Year, all of that goes in here. Just about a month ago, February 10th, 20 of this year. So just over soon to be 2 months, or whatever it's been. It's been too long. We recently lost her father and the love of my life, Cameron, or Cam as we called him. So that has been an incredibly traumatic event for both her and I. And journaling has been one of the things that has really helped me process and to, frankly, come to terms with this new reality that I did not sign up for. If I had an opportunity to opt out of, I actually would. I mean, it is the hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with, and even more challenging when unexpectedly I now am a single mother to our baby girl, who will be 5 in a few weeks. So I did write about and have been writing about that in this journal, that one day when she grows up, it is really important to me that she is able to hear directly from me, about these things that she'll one day learn about and think about as she gets older. So this journal is super important to me, and it's something that I will continue, a practice that I will continue for sure until this is full, and then I'll start a new one, which is the practice that I follow with my regular journaling, as well. So this is my baby girl's journal, and connected to my baby girl as well. I'm such a sucker for marketing. Even though I do communications and marketing for a living, my close friends, they'll tell you it like I am a sucker for good marketing. And I don't care if it's fast food, commercials, whatever. And this From Mom with Love started coming across my Instagram account, and I ordered it. And it's basically a book that there are prompts, and you write in here to your child. And this is, I love it. I just started writing in it after receiving it March 14th was my first entry. And let me just read a little bit about what it says. It says, "Welcome to a unique adventure." This is like the intro to the book. "This is no ordinary book. It's a treasure chest, a time capsule, a bridge between mother and child. Each section of this book is thoughtfully crafted to reflect the many facets of life, from moments of great joy to inevitable difficult challenges and everything in between. Inside, you'll find pages dedicated to specific occasions and everyday occurrences, as well as advice for life's setbacks and achievements. This is an invitation to pass down wisdom, thoughts, and most importantly, unconditional love from one generation to the next. This book is intended as a lasting legacy filled with heartfelt advice, comforting words, and a little bit of motherhood on every page. It is meant to be a guide, a source of comfort and inspiration for children as they navigate the unpredictable waters of life." So that's just the introduction. And each page, I'll show you one of the blank pages. It has a prompt. So this one says, for those days when you have to say goodbye. And then there are lines for me to write. And then it also has a space where you can write the date. So, um, I love this concept, and in fact, I even bought a little box from Michaels. Um, it was a set of nesting boxes. I think it had like 5 or 6 boxes, but I wrote on here, "From Mom with Love," and in it I keep the journal as well as the special pens that I bought because the paper is a little glossy. So I was worried about smearing if I used any other kind of pen. Now on the cover, I did just use a Sharpie because I know, and I just used I think this is the ultra fine Sharpie. I knew that that would do what it needed to do on the cover, and I put Amelia's name on there. And my plan is just to write in this as I feel it until it's complete. And then I also bought the there was a little accessories kit that came with it that has stickers, photo corners, cute little things that you can use to attach photos, notes, different things like that. So I love this, and I probably will also add some special photos and other memorabilia so that when the time is right, probably a 21st birthday, 25th birthday, I'm thinking she'll be ready. I can gift this to her at that time. And again, it's really important to me that Amelia is able to, if God forbid, and I pray that I'm here for a long time, but given everything that we're going through right now, as far as losing our dad, we don't know. We just don't know what the future holds. And so I am really prioritizing on the one hand, getting all of my affairs in order because that's important. So I pretty much had things in order as far as I'm concerned, but we'll be focusing on reviewing and making sure all of that stuff is up to speed. And then on the personal side, creating. I've always been a scrapbooker. I've done that for like 20 years, but creating scrapbooks, creating these journals. She'll, of course, have access to the journals that I've kept most of my life. And I'm just looking forward to her having all of that one day. And then my next notebook, I actually call this Donnie's Garden, which is why I picked it in green. This is just probably, oh, it says Office Depot, $2, $5 composition book. Not even a great, necessarily a great quality one because the covers are a little flimsy. But you get the vision. I started this in 2018, so when I was still living in Chicago, um, and I use it to capture other people's words that resonate with me, or as I like to say, that words that pierce my spirit. You know how you hear something and you're like, "Oh, wow, that was good," or you repeat it. I mean, it echoes kind of in your head. that's the purpose of this journal. So I'm going to read a few of the quotes, poetry, song lyrics. Those are the kind of things that I write in this notebook and here, or in this journal, notebook slash journal. So um, September 14th, 2025, I wrote this quote, and it says, "My dream isn't for my daughter to make me proud. It's for her to make herself proud in a room I've never been in, doing things I never dared to try with a voice that never flinches." And that was from At Home Sweet Moms, probably on Instagram. And then let me read a couple more for you. Um, Let me go back in time. So, uh, August 26, 2023, this came from Essence Magazine. It says, "Heirloom pieces carry an emotional and symbolic value that transcends their physical form. They are like time capsules, embodying memories, stories, and a sense of continuity. These pieces become more than objects, they are conduits of memory, emotion, and familial bonds." And this was from Divine, Devine, Blackshear, Blacksher. And then let me go back even further in time. It feels like time traveling reading some of this. So, oh, this is a good date. And usually, like once a month, I kind of take screenshots and voice recordings if it's something that comes on TV, uh, or like if I'm watching something on YouTube or something like that. I use the voice memo app, and then I use the save feature on social media to capture things that really, again, resonate with me. And then once a month, I sit down and manually actually write the things down in my little book. So 11/11/2018. It's crazy to think about that time. I was still married to my second ex husband at the time. This was before I became a mom. As I said, I was living in Chicago. Still, I lived there for almost 20 years. I was there for 17 years. Went to college there. Moved there in 2002 and stayed until 2019 when I moved back here to Minnesota. So, anyway, 11/11/2018, I wrote, "Love makes your soul crawl out from its hiding place." And that was a quote from Zora Neale Hurston. I also wrote that same day, "You've got to learn to leave the table when love's no longer being served." And that was from Nina Simone. So yeah, I think of it, I call it my garden because it is a place where I plant seeds. It is a place where I just capture things that are meant to uh, help me grow, to challenge me. Also, another something that I'm looking forward to one day passing down to my daughter, just so she can get a peek into who her mother, like who her mother is, who her mother, if it's past tense when she's looking at this, who I was. And then last, certainly not least, is my day to day personal journal. This is where I do my free writing, where I process my emotions. Um, this is the practice that I've had the longest, and I write in my personal journal. Honestly, cover to cover, it usually takes me 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I would say. So this journal I actually started June 1st of last year was the first entry, and your girl has been writing a lot because this journal is pretty big in terms of size, and I am I don't know, over halfway done with it. And I know I'm always in this journal, at least once a week, twice a week, if not more often. I've really been writing lately as I navigate this new reality of living without my love. So this journal, really beautiful cover. Again, a little bling. You all know glitter is my favorite color. So if it's got a little gold, a little bling, it usually catches my eye. But this was gifted to me by a dear coworker, and it was created by Kenzi, Kenzi Studio Co. And I just love it. It like, that's just such a beautiful image. So I will also maybe record another video soon, just showing you all of the old journals that I have, just so you can see over the years um, what journaling has looked like for me, which like I said, I'm pretty consistent in a sense that my journals are often multi-year, notebooks are multi-year, and then also um, the one thing that I always have is a personal journal. I inherited that practice from my mom. My mom is an avid journaler as well, and I remember right when I started puberty, shortly after my mom had got out of prison, she and I remember her introducing me to this idea of a diary and a journal. I picked it up and haven't put it down since, and I'm so grateful. And then I do have one more notebook. It's a tiny little notebook that I hope I have. Uh, it's just a little like reporter's notebook, I think is what they call them. Of course, I can't find it, but it's about this size, and I use it for my grocery list. So smaller than the traveler's notebook, and I usually keep it in the kitchen, out on a table, on a counter, and I capture stuff that we need from the store, grocery store, Costco, and then when it's time to go shopping, I'm ready to go. So I want to thank you for spending some time with me today, or tonight, depending on when you're watching this. And I hope that you're inspired. I hope that if you're not journaling, you consider journaling. If you are, maybe you get a new idea for something that you can add to your own ecosystem or to your practice. And if you have questions, you can for sure leave them in the comments below, or I'm pretty active on Instagram at Donnie, Donnie Nicole 84. Um, you can hit me up on Instagram or leave a comment here on YouTube.